I saw a video of a lesbian couple who claimed to be Christian. And in their videos comments, you see a lot of them defending where they feel God has allowed them to be lesbian. And, people are, of course, giving them the scriptural basis for why homosexuality is wrong. And they're fighting it, combating it. And in the actual post, one of the posts, it was a bunch of pictures. One of the images they had said that they know they're fine because they're made in his image. And being made in his image basically justifies them to do what they're going to do. And I want to clarify, when it says we're made in his image, that means we are also spiritual beings, not that we are literally looking and acting as God would look and act. If you look at every animal that God created in Genesis, it never talks about him giving them a soul. But then when it comes to man, man was given a soul. The breath of life that became a living soul, Genesis. God is a spirit. So that image that we are made in is that we are also spirit as God is spirit. Animals don't have that. Plants don't have that. Elements don't have that. It is literally just us and God. And then once you get into the spiritual realm, you got the devil, you got, demons, you got angels, all these other beings that are spirit. That's that we don't battle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers in high places. But a lot of us have confused this image of God to think, oh, God's black, or, oh, God's white, or, I'm made in God's image. So that means my actions are going to mimic what God does. When in actuality, like I said, it's just the fact that our spirit came from a place and has to go to a place. And also that our spirit is made up of the same substance and the same look as God. We're not God, but we have the same, I would say, some of the same trace elements that God has. The best way to look at it is if I had a Chris Havard action figure, right? Like if I had a little version of me that I could hold in my hand, that is us as an image to God, right? It's going to have similar features. It's going to have an arm, just like I have an arm. It's going to have no hair, just like I have no hair, because it looks like me in the sense of it is an image of me. It is a depiction of me, but it is not me. So if I gave that thing autonomy and told it could live its own life, it would not mimic and it would not think and act the way I think. Our ways are not God's ways. Our thoughts are not God's thoughts. So there is no way that we can equate this feeble, frail, disgusting human mind and body with what God has for us and what God is to us. So let's stop using this, oh, I'm made in his image, to justify our mess. Let's actually use it for what it's intended for. And if we're supposed to be made in his image, then we should emulate him, not force him to emulate us in our minds.